Hey there, everybody. Welcome to today's quick lesson. Speak English without hesitation in just 5 minutes. Can you believe it? 5 minutes. That's like the time it takes me to decide what kind of ice cream I want. Which, let's be real, is a very important decision, but you know what's even more important? Speaking English confidently. We all know that feeling, right? Wanting to say something, but the words just get stuck. Like trying to get that last bit of peanut butter out of the jar. It's a struggle. Well, guess what? Today, we're saying goodbye to hesitation. We're going to make speaking English feel as natural and easy as, well, as easy as ordering that double scoop of Rocky Road. So are you ready to jump in? Let's do this thing. All right, first things first, let's talk about why we even hesitate in the first place. And the answer, my friends, is fear. Yep, good old-fashioned fear. We're scared of making mistakes, of sounding silly, of people judging our every word. It's like, remember that time you tried karaoke for the first time? Yeah, that feeling. But here's the thing, everyone makes mistakes. Even yours truly, the guy who trips over air on national television. It's part of being human. The key is to not let that fear hold you back. Because you know what's worse than making a mistake? Not speaking at all. Okay, so we've talked about the why. Now let's get to the good stuff, the how. How do we actually start speaking English more fluently and confidently? And the answer, my friends, is surprisingly simple. Practice. I know, you've heard it a million times before, but trust me, it's like the golden rule of, well, pretty much everything. Think of it like this. Remember that time you binge-watched your favorite show for hours on end? By the end, you were practically fluent in the characters' catchphrases, right? But here's the good news. Practicing English doesn't have to be a chore. In fact, it can be fun. We're going to explore some super cool tips and tricks that will have you speaking more fluently in no time. We're talking about simple, easy-to-implement strategies that will make a world of difference. These tips are so good, you'll be wondering why you didn't start using them sooner. So, are you ready to unleash your inner English speaker? Buckle up, because things are about to get exciting. All right, so you want to ditch the hesitation and sound like a natural English speaker? First trick up our sleeve, we're going mini, folks. Think bite-sized English. You don't got to swallow the whole sentence at once. It's like trying to fit a whole pizza in your mouth. Messy, right? Instead, break it down. Let's say you want to say, I am learning English. Sounds simple, but under pressure, it can feel like a mouthful. So try this. Break it up. I take a beat, another beat, learning, pause. English. See? Easy peasy. It's like learning a dance move. You got to get the individual steps down before you can bust out the whole routine on the dance floor. And trust me, your confidence will skyrocket when you nail those little chunks. It might feel a little weird at first, like you're talking in slow motion, but guess what? It gives your brain a moment to catch up and find the right words. And that, my friends, is how you start sounding smoother than a jazz saxophone solo. Think of it like this. Ever notice how a good comedian delivers a joke? They pause, they build suspense, they let you savor the punchline. Same deal with speaking English. Those little pauses, those mini breaks, they're your secret weapon. They give you time to think, to breathe, and to deliver your words with impact. Plus, it gives your listener time to process what you're saying. It's like adding punctuation to your speech, making it clearer and more engaging. And here's another cool thing. Breaking down sentences lets you inject some personality. You can emphasize certain words, add a little flair, it's your time to shine. So ditch the pressure of long, complicated sentences. Embrace the power of small chunks, find your rhythm, and watch your fluency soar higher than a bald eagle on a sugar rush.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness.
All right, amigos, let's talk about the ultimate fluency killer, overthinking. It's sneaky, isn't it? You sit down ready to speak and suddenly your brain decides to throw a party with every grammar rule and vocabulary word you've ever learned. And not the fun kind of party, more like the kind where you're stuck cleaning up the mess. We've all been there, right? Your brain turns into a ping pong match, words bouncing around like crazy, and you end up frozen like a deer in headlights. It's like your thoughts are racing each other, but no one actually crosses the finish line. Not cool, brain, not cool. And the worst part, the more you try to control it, the more chaotic it gets. It's like trying to untangle a pair of headphones. The harder you pull, the worse it becomes. Here's the deal. Your brain means well. It's trying to protect you from embarrassment, from making mistakes. It wants you to sound smart, polished, and perfect. It wants you to be grammatically perfect, to impress everyone with your vocabulary. But here's the kicker. Perfection is overrated. Seriously, who decided that we all need to sound like walking encyclopedias anyway? But sometimes it gets a little carried away. It's like when you're trying to bake a simple cake and your brain insists on adding every ingredient in the pantry. The result? A big, confusing mess. It's like that friend who's always trying to help but ends up accidentally setting your kitchen on fire. Good intentions, disastrous results. But hey, we love them anyway, right? So, how do we tell our brains to chill out and let us speak? How do we stop the overthinking spiral before it takes over? The answer is simpler than you think. Simple, by not giving overthinking the time of day. When you feel it creeping in, take a deep breath and remind yourself, communication is the goal, not perfection. Remember, fluency is about communication, about getting your message across, not about sounding like a walking dictionary. It's about connection, not correction. It's like you wouldn't stop in the middle of a joke to explain why it's funny, right? You just let it flow, and that's what makes it work. You just gotta go for it, dive in, make mistakes, and learn as you go. It's all part of the process. And the more you trust yourself, the easier it gets. Confidence isn't about never making mistakes. It's about knowing you can handle them when they happen. Here's a secret. Even native English speakers make mistakes. Shocking, I know, right? We stumble, we stutter, we mix up words, and guess what? Nobody cares. We stumble over our words, we say the wrong thing. We even invent new words sometimes. Hashtag Wyoming. And those moments, they're what make us human. But guess what? The world keeps spinning. Life goes on, and so does the conversation. The beauty of language is that it's fluid, it's alive. It's not about rigid rules. It's about creating moments of understanding and connection. It's about connecting with other humans, not about achieving robotic perfection. So let go of the pressure to be flawless. Give yourself permission to mess up, to say and to correct yourself mid-sentence. Those little imperfections, they're what make your speech authentic. Think of it like learning to ride a bike. At first, it's wobbly, awkward, and maybe even a little scary. You're going to wobble, you might even fall a couple of times. Hopefully not into a bush, but hey, it happens. And that's okay. But each wobble, each fall brings you closer to riding with confidence. Every mistake is a step forward. So embrace the beauty of imperfection, my friends. Celebrate the progress, not the perfection. Let go of the need to be perfect and allow yourself to make those glorious human mistakes. They're what make your journey unique. Trust me, your fluency and your sense of humor will thank you for it. So go out there, speak your heart out, and let the words flow. All right, let's talk about those little words that get a bad rap, fillers. You know, those tiny pauses in our speech that some people love to hate. But are they really as bad as they're made out to be? Let's dive in and find out. You know, the ones these words are everywhere, and yet they often get labeled as unnecessary or even lazy. But is that really fair? They're like the awkward middle schoolers of the English language, often misunderstood and unfairly judged. People tend to overlook their potential and focus only on their quirks. But guess what? Fillers are our friends. They're not just random words, they serve a purpose. And when used wisely, they can actually enhance our communication. Seriously, these little guys are like the duct tape of conversation. They might not be glamorous, but they're incredibly useful. They hold everything together, giving you those precious microseconds to gather your thoughts without sounding like a robot whose battery just died. Think of them as the glue that keeps your sentences flowing naturally. Think about it. Have you ever had a conversation with someone who spoke perfectly without a single or? It's kind of creepy, right? It feels unnatural, almost like you're talking to a machine. It's like they're not even human. Perfect speech can sometimes create a barrier, making the speaker seem distant or unapproachable. Fillers add a natural rhythm to our speech, making us sound more relatable and less intimidating. They help bridge the gap between polished speech and genuine connection. So the next time you're about to launch into a sentence and your brain needs a moment to catch up, don't freeze. Instead, embrace the pause and let a filler word step in to save the day. Just throw in a trusty or It's like a conversational safety net, catching you when your thoughts need a moment to align. It's like giving your brain a high five and saying, "Take your time, buddy, I got this." It's a small but powerful way to keep the conversation flowing. Now I know what you're thinking. But Jimmy, won't I sound unprofessional if I use fillers? That's a valid concern, but let me explain. Listen, there's a difference between using fillers strategically and letting them take over your entire vocabulary. It's all about balance and intention. It's like you wouldn't wear your pajamas to a job interview, right? You dress appropriately for the occasion, unless it's for a pajama company, in which case, go for it. The same principle applies to fillers. Use them where they fit and avoid overdoing it. Similarly, you don't want to overuse fillers to the point where they become distracting. Too many ums and uhs can dilute your message and make you seem unprepared, but using them sparingly in those moments when you need a split second to think, totally fine. In fact, it can make you seem more thoughtful and authentic. In fact, it shows that you're comfortable with the natural flow of conversation, which is actually a sign of confidence. It's a subtle way of saying, "I'm human, and I'm okay with that." So embrace the power of fillers, my friends. They're not the enemy, they're a tool. And like any tool, they work best when used with care and purpose. Use them wisely, use them strategically, and watch your fluency soar higher than a squirrel on a double espresso. It's all about finding that sweet spot. And remember, even if you do stumble over a word or two, just laugh it off and keep going. Mistakes are part of being human, and that's what makes communication real, because at the end of the day, the most important thing is to communicate and connect. That's what truly matters. And that's something worth saying about. So go ahead, embrace your fillers, and let your conversation shine. All right, folks, we're on tip number 4, and this one's a real game changer, I'm telling you. If you're serious about improving your English, this tip is going to be your best friend. It's all about practice, baby. Just like learning a killer guitar solo, you got to put in the time to shred those English skills. Think of it as building muscle memory for your brain and tongue. You wouldn't expect to nail Eddie Van Halen's Eruption on the first try, right? No way. It's the same with English. You got to embrace the process, mistakes and all. It takes dedication, my friends. You got to practice those riffs, those hammer-ons, those finger-tapping solos, day in and day out. And when it comes to English, it's about practicing those tricky sounds, those new words, and those unfamiliar sentence structures. And guess what? Speaking English is kind of like that. It's a skill you build over time, not overnight. The more you practice, the smoother you'll become. It's like oiling a machine. The more you work at it, the better it runs. It's like learning a magic trick. At first, it's all fumbles and awkward pauses, but with practice, you'll be wowing everyone with your fluency. And trust me, the sense of accomplishment is magical too. So, how do you practice speaking English every day, you ask? Don't worry, I've got you covered. Well, that's the beauty of it. There are tons of fun and easy ways to do it. You don't need a classroom or a formal setup. You can chat with a friend, maybe over coffee or during a walk in the park. Talk to yourself in the mirror. Don't worry, we all do it. It's a great way to build confidence and get comfortable with your own voice, or even narrate your day like a sports commentator. Imagine describing your breakfast-making process like it's the final match of a championship. Get creative, have some fun with it. The more enjoyable you make it, the more likely you are to stick with it. Now I know what you're thinking, Jimmy, I'm busy. My schedule is packed and I barely have time to breathe. I don't have time to practice English every single day. But here's the thing, you don't need hours. Just a few minutes can make a world of difference. It doesn't have to be a big formal thing. You can fit it into your daily routine, like during your lunch break or while waiting for your coffee to brew. Just sneak in a few minutes here and there. Think of it as little language snacks throughout your day. Think of it like brushing your teeth. It's a small habit, but it makes a big impact over time. You don't dedicate an hour to it, right? You just squeeze in a couple of minutes twice a day and boom, pearly whites. Same goes for English practice. A few minutes here and there can lead to big results. 5 minutes in the morning, 5 minutes at night, and you'll be amazed at how much progress you can make. It's all about consistency, folks. Little steps every day add up to big leaps over time. And you'll be surprised at how quickly you improve. Celebrate those small wins. They're proof you're on the right track. It's all about forming a habit, people. Make it a part of your daily life. Set a reminder on your phone so you don't forget. Stick a post-it note on your bathroom mirror with a motivational message. Do whatever it takes to make it a part of your daily routine. The key is to make it easy and accessible. Trust me, consistency is key. It's the secret sauce to mastering any skill. And hey, if you're feeling really ambitious, take it up a notch. Try recording yourself speaking English. It's a fantastic way to hear how you sound and pinpoint areas for improvement. Plus, it's a great way to track your progress over time. You'll be amazed at how far you've come, and who knows, you might even discover a hidden talent for storytelling or comedy along the way. All right, folks, bonus tip time, and this one's near and dear to my heart because, let me tell you, I've made my fair share of mistakes. I mean, who could forget that time I accidentally called Madonna Mom on live television? But you know what? It's okay to mess up. In fact, it's more than okay, it's essential. You learn from your mistakes, you grow from them, and sometimes you even get a hilarious story out of them. Think about it. Some of the funniest moments in life come from those unexpected blunders, and hey, if you can laugh at yourself, you're already winning at life. So when it comes to speaking English, don't be afraid to make mistakes. Embrace those oops moments. They're just proof that you're learning and growing. Remember, even the most fluent English speakers started somewhere, and I guarantee you, they made their fair share of mistakes along the way. The key is to not let those mistakes discourage you. Don't let them stop you from speaking up, from expressing yourself, from connecting with others. Think of mistakes as stepping stones on your path to fluency. Each stumble, each mispronounced word, each grammatical error, it's all part of the journey. So go out there, make those mistakes, learn from them, and keep on speaking English. And that's a wrap, everybody. Remember, confidence comes with practice. Speak English without hesitation, and soon it will become second nature. Start today.